Celebrities have always enthralled us. Since the 18th century, humans have idolized those above them. From the kings and monarchs of the 1700s to the worldwide pop stars of the 2000s and everything in between, how did we get here? Why did we get here? It all comes back to one thing: communication. As literacy expanded in the 1800s through the middle and lower class, people suddenly had newspapers that told them everything they wanted to know about performers, artists, and power figures. Through the newspaper, telegraph, radio, television, and internet, the celebrities of the world grew and grew as their stardom did too.
I just kind of always remember her being a part of my childhood. She was really cool and edgy. She kind of pushed the boundaries, and that was exciting to us. Madonna was, I think, pretty big everywhere. So back when I was in elementary school, 9, 10, 11 years old, that was when MTV was really big, and that was the MTV that showed music videos all the time. And I just remember so many of her videos being just kind of really popular or really unique. And then she had videos that were like a prayer, her Like a Prayer video, which was really pushing the boundaries in terms of music. So that was something that where, kind of so many people, around the world kind of got really, were really invested. Especially when I was so young, I didn't really know a lot about her as a person. And that was also, before the time of social media and the internet, so you really didn't know much about, celebrities like you do now. So it really was a lot more about their music and their style and, what they, kind of put forward out into the public.
Musicians aren't the only celebrities who have become idolized, though. With the nationwide rise of cable television in the 1990s and early 2000s, millions of Americans were introduced to brand new celebrities. These actors would return to the screen weekly with new content, constantly keeping viewers satisfied, yet wanting more. It was so easy to be obsessed with your favorite characters in popular shows like How I Met Your Mother, Doctor Who, or Star Trek. And for some, that obsession translated to their actors too.
My dad's always been a big Star Trek fan. And it's one of those things where I kind of got, I don't want to say indoctrinated, but kind of brought into the series pretty young. I think for Star Trek fans, everyone has their captain, the person that they kind of idolize on that show. He kind of just became my captain, the one that I most associate the show with, the one I felt I spent more time with than others because I kind of invested in watching it live over the years as it went on. I think the interesting thing with TV, actors that come from TV, is you spend so much time with them. People who maybe rewatch The Office 3 times over, or more than that even, are really deeply connected to those characters, maybe more than ones that you see in movies.
Since the early 2000s, the world has changed in a way that never could have been expected. The growth of the internet and social media has completely altered the definition of what a celebrity can be and how people interact with them every day. It started small, with stars sharing their funny thoughts and hot takes, but social media platforms have slowly turned into a tool to grow power, status, and wealth. It's created world-famous athletes, actors, and musicians, and given them fan bases unlike anything history has ever seen. Celebrities like Bad Bunny, Rihanna, and Taylor Swift are living proof.
I've never not listened to Taylor Swift. Even though I was not a teenage pop star, there was just something that I could relate to with her. I've always been a huge fan, but there's so many more ways to get information so quickly about someone that you follow, especially on social media. So with social media, I feel like it's been more of a super fan status because you can stay updated so easily. There's more of a community based in social media. You see people who make their whole social media careers off of posting about Taylor Swift, and then they meet their friends who also do the same thing, and it's all these careers that never would have existed 20 years ago, which is so cool.
So today we live in such a different world. Well, you take someone like Taylor Swift. There is no equivalent to someone like Taylor Swift from the 1980s. The closest would be Madonna. And Madonna was a mega big celebrity pop star, but pales in comparison to Taylor Swift. I mean, Taylor Swift goes on concert and makes billions with a B of dollars. The idea of something like that happening in the 80s was unfathomable.
Idolize feels like thinking that someone like can do no wrong or is infallible, which is not how I feel. By someone else's definitions, I probably completely idolize her. By mine, I say more that I just really look up to her as a person and an artist.
I wish we lived in a world where we weren't so obsessed with celebrity culture. I think it would be a better world if that were the case, but unfortunately that's not our real world. Even though that's the case, I will say this. The celebrities who are the most popular, the ones that we adore the most, tend to be the most authentic. They're not the ones who pretend to be someone they're not. They tend to be the ones that are most real. We are very attracted to that as humans, and I think that if people were to take that approach, we'd all be better off because we would care less about celebrities, ironically, and then also we'd care more about authenticity with our interactions with others, and I think it would just be a better world.